Hello, my name's Brian Shaw, and I'm going to be one of the guides, hopefully, for classic battlefield tours. By way of introducing myself, I'll give you some background. I was born in Nottingham, 1958, and at the age of 16 and a half, joined the army. As a junior soldier, I joined a parachute regiment, and then a year later, in September 1975, I passed out of depot para as a trained soldier, and I was posted to the 1st Battalion of the Parachute Regiment, which was at the time stationed in Berlin. I then served through around the world, from California to Hong Kong, the long way round, and from the Arctic Circle to Cape Town. During my normal service, I went from being a private soldier to a Warrant Officer Class 1, RSM. I then did an extra 15 years of service, additional service, which took me up to doing a total of 38 years in the Army. I planned and led my first battlefield tour in 1999 to the Ardennes. This has always been an interest of mine and an extension of my interest in military history. I joined the Guild of Battlefield Guides in 2000 and eventually attained my Guild badge, which is a professional development qualification, in 2002. I lead battlefield tours of the Great War, the Western Front, and as far afield as Gallipoli. And I also do, as well as the Second World War, I used to do battlefield tours of the Waterloo campaign in 1815. If I had a specialist subject, aka mastermind, right, it would be Europe, Northwest Europe, 1944-45, D-Day to the end of the war, VE Day in May 1945. I've led many battlefield tours to Normandy, covering the whole campaign from the 6th of June to the closing of the Falaise pocket in mid-August, and covering all the major combatants that are involved in the campaign. Other operations I've planned and led battlefield tours to include Operation Market Garden, September 1944, covering all the airborne divisions, 101st, 82nd, and the British 1st Airborne Division from Eindhoven, Nijmegen, and Arnhem, and also covered 30 Corps advance from Joe's Bridge in the south all the way up to Nijmegen, covering the entire operation from beginning until the eventual evacuation of the British 1st Airborne Division in the end of September 1944. I've done battlefield tours covering the US forces operations in September to November 1944 in Aachen, the first German city to be captured by the Allies in 1944, and the bloody fighting in the Hurtgen forest between September and the end of November 1944. One of my particular favourites, the Ardennes Offensive from December 1944, January 1945, known generally as the Battle of the Bulge. The largest single battle in World War II involving US forces, 1.3 million Americans involved in the Battle of the Bulge, soldiers. And I cover the north, the fighting in the north, the fighting in the centre, right, and the fighting in the south, including the fighting with the 101st Airborne Division around Bastogne, and the little studied US, as you were, British operations in January 1945. For 1945, I've led tours of Operation Veritable Grenade, which are the operations by the British and US forces to close up to the Rhine in February 1945, and also the Rhine crossing in March 1945. Operation Varsity and Plunder, the airborne and ground operation, the river crossing operations. And I've also covered the US operation which involved the capture of the bridge at Remagen, further south. After the Rhine crossing tours of the drive north to Hamburg, including the reef of Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, a fascinating, if dour, place to visit, and the final resting place of Anne Frank. Montgomery's the northern German front, I should say, surrendered to Field Marshal Montgomery and Lüneburg Heath on the 4th of May 1945, and then the road forward to the VE Day, eventually on the 8th of May 1945. As an aside, I also lead tours to Berlin, covering the Soviet offensive from the Oder River through to the capture of Berlin. And away from Northwest Europe, I also take tours to Italy, covering Cassino and Anzio, and to Malta, covering the German-Italian siege of the islands in World War II. Should you decide to travel with classic battlefield tours, I look forward to meeting you on one of those tours. Thank you very much.